My name is Maya Ellington, and I'm 29 years old. On paper, my life is concise. Financial analyst in Seattle, 135K salary, a one-bedroom that faces a slice of sky, and a color-coded calendar that knows me better than most people. I like numbers because they don't get jealous of each other. They just balance or they don't. Ryan Cole and I have been us for 4 years. 6 months ago, he went down on one knee in Vancouver, wind in our hair, and a stranger cheering from a seawall, like we were a scene in someone else's movie. I said yes. We paid the $5,000 non-refundable deposit on a vineyard in Woodinville. I tucked a $12,000 princess cut ring into our safe when I wasn't wearing it because I am careful the way some people are lucky. His mother cried. My parents cried. Our friends typed #couple goals without irony. 3 Tuesdays ago, at 9:34 p.m., my phone lit up during a late-night model review. Instagram. Ryan posted a photo. I clicked by reflex, expecting a blurry skyline or his sneakers on a bar rail. It was Tessa. Not just Tessa in the frame, Tessa on his lap, her arm looped around his shoulders, his hands bracketed casually at her waist. A dim bar glow cut their faces into the kind of warm that makes people look like better memories. The caption beneath it, "Some memories never leave." I didn't breathe for a count of 8. The comments were already alive. Megan K. Reunited and it feels so good, Jess. P. OMG, you two. Connor. J. Best night with this one, and from Tessa herself, a white heart and a champagne emoji. The like count blinked upward like a heart monitor. I called Ryan. Voicemail. I texted, explain. Now. Delivered. No red. 30 minutes later, I drove home on autopilot, the skyline smudged by drizzle, the wipers beating a small, furious rhythm. Our apartment looked exactly like it always does. The West Elm couch we negotiated a truce over, the coffee table with the nick from moving day, the fridge magnet that says budgeting is a love language. It felt like an alibi. At 11:47, the door opened. Ryan walked in with his shoes in his hand and the kind of bright, careless smile people wear when they want the room to meet them halfway. "Hey, you're still up," he said, like we were in a toothpaste commercial. "Where were you?" "Out with work friends." He set the shoes down, kissed the air near my temple, missed. "Just drinks." "Work friends," I repeated. "Was Tessa there?" A hairline crack in his face. "Oh, yeah, she's in town for a conference. A bunch of us met up." "A bunch of you," I said. "So why did you post a picture with her on your lap?" He moved to the kitchen, busying himself with the faucet like it required precision. "It was a joke, Maya. Don't make it weird. You're engaged to me. You posted a photo of your ex-girlfriend on your lap with the caption, 'Some memories never leave.' Which part of that is the joke?" He sighed the way people sigh when they want you to apologize for noticing. "You're being dramatic." "Delete it." He looked at me, not startled, calculating. "No, I'm not deleting it because you're being controlling. I can post what I want." There it was, the key he always reaches for when he's lost. Controlling. I almost laughed. I didn't. "Okay," I said. "Then I'll handle this a different way." He blinked, half amused. "Meaning what?" "Meaning this. I walked to the bedroom, opened the safe, and took out the velvet box. The ring looked like a promise and a bill at the same time. I carried it to the dining table, opened my laptop, and typed in the URL of a high-end resale site I'd bookmarked back when comparison shopping was a sport. Listing title, 1.5 cc princess cut, diamond engagement ring, white gold. Condition, excellent. Price, $10,500, OBO. 4 photos under good light. A clean description. Proof of purchase, boxed. When I hit publish, it was the opposite of a scream. Quiet, surgical, irreversible. I took a screenshot of the live listing and texted it to him from across the room. "Since you're reconnecting with old memories, I figured I should let this one go too." His phone lit the kitchen counter blue. He stared at it, then at me. The casual went out of his posture like someone had pulled a plug. "You can't be serious," he said, voice low. "I'm exactly serious." "This is insane. You're humiliating me." "No," I said, steady now. "You did that when you chose a caption over a boundary." He took a step closer, softening, like apologies were roses he could set between us. "Maya, babe, come on." It was nostalgia. Everyone was there. It didn't mean anything. "Then deleting it won't mean anything either," I said. "Delete it." He held my gaze. No. We stood there with the screen light pooling between us like a third opinion. In the other room, our Pinterest board, 347 pins of centerpieces and color swatches, slept in a tab we'd forgotten to close. At 4:11 a.m., after he'd retreated to the bedroom and slammed the door like punctuation, I muted my phone and lay on the couch staring at the ceiling. The listing notification chimed. First inquiry received, then another. By 7 a.m., my lock screen was a museum of missed calls. I made coffee, black. It tasted like a decision. By 7:12 a.m., my phone looked like a fire alarm. 53 missed calls, 87 texts, 24 voicemails. Ryan's name stacked the screen like he was trying to bury me under it. Mixed in were Carol Cole, his mother, my sister, 2 bridesmaids, and a number I didn't recognize that I would later learn belonged to one of his coworkers, who just wanted to understand the context. I scrolled the resale site first. Priorities. 3 inquiries. 1 lowball, 1 reasonable, 1 requesting an in-person viewing Saturday. I answered the reasonable one and penciled the viewing for 10 a.m. at a jeweler's office that offered authentication. When I finally answered a call, it wasn't Ryan's. It was the unknown number. Maya, it's me, Ryan, using Sam's phone because you're ignoring mine. I'm not ignoring it, I said. I'm prioritizing. He let out a humorless laugh. Okay, prioritize this. Take down the listing. No, Maya. He lowered his voice like we were 2 actors backstage. You're overreacting, and you're doing it publicly. You posted it publicly. That's not the same. You're selling the ring. That's nuclear. Not the ring, I corrected. A ring. The difference is respect. He sighed into the speaker. Look, last night was a group hang. A group hang. Tessa sat on my lap for a photo because there weren't enough chairs. Everyone laughed. Someone yelled throwback, and I thought the caption was funny. It was nostalgia, not a proposal. Delete it. He paused, then pivoted. Deleting because people are mad is performative. Deleting because I actually did something wrong is different, and I didn't. I held the phone away for a beat, as if the distance could make it make sense. You posted a photo of your ex on your lap while you're engaged to me. If you can't see the wrong in that, the problem isn't the comment section. Oh my God, Maya, for once can you not be so binary? There's nuance. Nuance is for art, I said, not vows. He switched tactics like changing lanes without signaling. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll take it down. There, happy? No. Silence. Then sharper. What do you want from me? Clarity, I said, not compliance. He huffed. Fine. Clarity. Nothing happened. I didn't cheat. You know I didn't. You're throwing away 4 years over a caption. I'm reconsidering marrying someone who treats humiliation like a punchline. Maya, please. The voice that used to unravel me softened at the edges. We're a week out from finalizing catering. My mom's printing place cards. Can we not implode? Then respect the boundary, I said, and stop asking me to be the person who doesn't have one. I hung up, called my therapist, left a concise voicemail. Hi, it's Maya. I need a sooner slot. The ring listing pinged again. Is it still available? I replied with Saturday's window and a note. Jeweler authentication required. Cash or cashier's check only. At 8:31, my phone rang with Carol on the screen. I answered because she had never been anything but kind to me. Maya, she said, voice tight with sleep and concern. What is happening? Ryan is saying you're selling the ring. He posted a photo with Tessa on his lap, I said, keeping my tone even. Captioned it, "Some memories never leave." He refused to take it down when I asked. Oh, a pause. Then honest, surprised. That's not okay. No, I agreed, it isn't. I don't support that. But selling the ring, are you sure that's the conversation you want to start with? It's the only one he's listening to. She exhaled. May I come by later? Not to take sides, to understand. Later, I said. Text me first. After we hung up, I opened Instagram. The post was still up, now with 217 likes and 41 comments. A few brave souls had commented the equivalent of, "Aren't you engaged?" Others left hearts like confetti on a traffic accident. Tessa had added a new comment. History has a sense of humor. I took a screenshot, not out of pettiness, but for the file I was building in my head called Reasons. A Slack ping cut through the fog. Reminder, 10 a.m., FP&A stand-up. I typed, oh, this morning. Family matter. I didn't owe the internet my dignity, and I certainly didn't owe my team the plot. At 9:05, Ryan texted from his own number, proof that his dramatics about me ignoring him were performative too. Ryan, delete the listing. I'll delete the post. We call it even. Me. That's bartering, not remorse. Ryan, you're impossible. Me. I'm consistent. Ryan, if you sell it, my mom will never forgive you. Me. Then maybe she should talk to you. He called again. I let it ring. He left a voicemail that started with Maya, baby, please, and ended with, you're ruining our life. I flagged it unread and opened my budgeting spreadsheet instead, because decimals will never gaslight you. The doorbell went off at 11:12. My stomach did that old, stupid, hopeful thing, remembering early days when doorbells meant flowers and kisses and not apologies prepped like speeches. It was a courier with a manila envelope, final proofs from the stationer. Cole and Ellington, April, in serif, on cream. I set it on the counter like it might bite. At 12:40, my phone vibrated with a DM from Tessa. Hey, Maya, I think this is being blown out of proportion. There were like 8 of us. It was a joke. You know how social is. I stared at it until my thumbs went cold. Then I typed and deleted 3 replies. Finally, boundaries aren't content. I hit send. She left me on red. By 1:15, the listing had 7 serious inquiries and an offer right at the ask if I could meet Friday. I kept Saturday, not out of cruelty, out of respect for the part of me that wanted to breathe between decisions. Ryan tried one more strategy at 1:43, logic dressed as empathy. Ryan, I took the post down. Can we talk now? I checked. He had. The photo was gone, replaced by a story slide in muted gray. Social media break. Be kind. Me. You deleted it because it was wrong or because people noticed? 3 dots. Then, Ryan, does it matter? Me. It's the only thing that matters. Silence. Then a final bubble. Ryan, I'm coming over. We're resolving this like adults. I put my phone face down, walked to the bedroom, and took the ring box from the dresser. It looked heavier now, like it had absorbed every word we'd said to each other that wasn't care. On the kitchen island, the stationer's packet sat beside the box. Names in ink. Dates that assumed a future. I set my palm over both the way you do when you're steadying something that the room has started to tilt. At 2:07, Carol texted, I'm downstairs, may I come up? A second later, Ryan, me too. 2 elevators, 1 decision. I looked at the ring, then at the door, and felt the click inside that I always trust more than noise. Let's have the conversation, I said to the empty room, to the box, to myself. Then I went to open the door. Ryan wasn't the first one to reach my door. It was Carol, hair pulled back, eyes soft but weary. The look mothers wear when they've been up all night smoothing over their child's mistakes. Hi, sweetheart, she said quietly. May I? I nodded and stepped aside. Her perfume, powder and lemon, filled the hallway before her words did. Would you like coffee? I offered, automatic. She shook her head. I just want to understand what happened. I gestured to the couch, the same one Ryan and I had built from an Allen wrench, and 2 hours of laughter that now felt like borrowed sound. Carol sat carefully, like the cushions might be rigged. Ryan says you listed the engagement ring. He's beside himself. I know, I said. He's been telling everyone but the truth. Her eyes flicked up. Then tell me yours. I did. Calmly. Fact by fact. The photo. The caption. The refusal to delete. The accusation that I was controlling. I didn't add adjectives because the nouns were damning enough. When I finished, Carol just sighed. He told me part of that. Not all of it. I'm sure, I said quietly. You're right to be hurt, she admitted. That post was disrespectful. Her tone was precise, like a verdict read out loud. But selling the ring, Maya, are you sure that's how you want this remembered? It's how I want it understood, I replied. That actions have weight. He can't just shrug it off and expect me to carry it for him. She looked at the velvet box on the table. You love him. I did, I said. Or maybe I loved the version that asked instead of assumed. A knock interrupted us. Sharp, impatient, familiar. Carol stood. That'll be him. Ryan stepped in like he owned the air. Wrinkled shirt, eyes bloodshot, the desperate energy of someone trying to reframe the story before the audience leaves. Mom, can I talk to Maya alone? Carol looked between us, hesitated, then nodded. I'll be downstairs. Her eyes found mine. Be kind, but be clear. When she left, silence took her chair. Ryan turned to me. Okay, let's talk. I folded my arms. Start with the truth. I already told you. It was a stupid photo. Not that, I cut in. Start with why you did it. He rubbed his face, pacing. Because I'm human, because it felt harmless, because everyone from college was there and they were all laughing about old times, because Tessa leaned in, and it was easier to play along than make it awkward. So you were worried about making her uncomfortable, I said. But not me. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean when you wrote "Some memories never leave"? He winced, caught. It was nostalgia. You know me, I joke through everything. Funny how your jokes never land on yourself, I said. He exhaled, sat down across from me, and finally let the mask drop. I didn't post it for her, okay? I posted it for the comments, for the attention. It felt good seeing people react. Everyone's been treating me like half of a brand lately. Ryan and Maya, the perfect couple. It was nice to feel like just me again, for a second. I stared at him, every syllable a slow realization. So you humiliated your fiancé online to prove you still existed? He winced. When you say it like that, there's no other way to say it. He looked up, eyes raw. I screwed up. I know I did. I'll delete everything. I already did. I'll post an apology if you want. You still don't get it, I said softly. Deleting the evidence doesn't erase the event. It just erases your discomfort. He leaned forward, voice cracking. Please, don't throw us away over one mistake. I'm not throwing us away, I said. You did that when you treated my boundaries like optional settings. He ran both hands through his hair, then said the line that turned my stomach. You know what's ironic? You're proving my point. You can't let anything go. You have to control the narrative. I laughed once, sharp and quiet. And you can't stand being held accountable. We're both consistent, at least. We sat in silence long enough for the afternoon light to crawl across the rug. Then I asked the question that had been waiting all along. Why weren't you wearing your ring in that photo? He blinked. What? Your engagement ring, I said. The one you insisted on having because you wanted equality. It wasn't on your hand. He hesitated, half a second too long. I didn't want to lose it at the bar. I tilted my head. You took it off before going to meet your ex. Maya, come on. Do you remember last summer when I took mine off before the company picnic because I was worried about it slipping into the lake? You teased me for being paranoid. Said, if you're not wearing it, what's the point? His mouth opened, then closed. The silence that followed was the truest thing between us all week. I stood. You should go. He looked up, eyes wet but pride intact. So that's it? Over one mistake? I met his gaze. Over one pattern. After he left, Carol texted once. Did he say what needed saying? No, I replied, but he said enough. That night, I poured myself a glass of water, sat beside the ring box, and opened it. The diamond caught the dim light and reflected nothing of him. Just me, tired and certain. For the first time in days, I didn't feel angry. Just done. Still, I didn't delete the listing. Not yet. Some symbols deserve their own quiet clock ticking down. 2 days later, an email arrived from the resale platform. Your listing has received verified interest. Please confirm appointment. I stared at the confirmation link for a full minute before closing it. Instead, I drafted a new email. To myself. Subject line, what I won't forget. And in the body. When someone calls you controlling for setting boundaries, they're announcing they prefer chaos. Nostalgia isn't an excuse, it's a test. You can love someone and still lock the door. I hit save, not send. A week passed. The air felt different in the apartment. Lighter, but lonelier, like the walls were catching their breath after too many arguments. Ryan hadn't been back. His toothbrush was still in the bathroom cup, his jacket still hanging behind the door. He texted twice, once to say he'd moved in with a coworker for a few weeks, and once to ask if I wanted to talk when things cooled down. I didn't reply. Cooling down wasn't the problem. The temperature was fine. It was the atmosphere that had changed. The following Friday, the listing got flagged and taken down. A polite message from the site read, "Your item has been reported for potential ownership dispute. Please provide verification or relist later." I didn't bother appealing. It had served its purpose. I put the ring back in the safe, not as a keepsake, but as a placeholder for a truth I wasn't finished processing. 2 weeks later, Carol texted again. He's been in therapy. He's trying, Maya. He really is. Good, I replied. He should. That weekend, Ryan asked to meet. I said yes, not out of curiosity, but closure. We chose a coffee shop halfway between us, neutral ground. He looked smaller, not physically, just deflated. The kind of exhaustion that comes when you finally realize charm can't fix character. "I've been seeing a counselor," he said after the first sip. "They made me write down every decision that led to that night. It's a long list." "I'm sure," I said quietly. He nodded. "You were right, about all of it. The attention thing, the boundaries. I kept telling myself it was harmless because it didn't feel like cheating. But it was betrayal all the same. I'm sorry." For the first time since the photo, his words didn't sound rehearsed. They just sounded tired. "I'm glad you're doing the work," I said, "but I can't promise I'll be here waiting for the results." He looked down, then back up. "I know. I don't expect that. I just needed to tell you face to face." We talked for another hour, about therapy, about the wedding deposit, about how neither of us was ready to file for refunds or move forward. The word we kept circling was pause. It wasn't forgiveness, it wasn't final, it was just space. When we left, he hugged me once, awkward, unsure, and I didn't pull away. But I didn't hold on either. Over the next few weeks, we rebuilt communication the way people test ice. Slowly, one careful step at a time. A few texts, then coffee again, then therapy together. We agreed to postpone the wedding indefinitely. I moved half my things into a short-term rental, 6-month lease, no shared closet, no joint passwords. Ryan went completely transparent. Location sharing, phone access, every small overcorrection that people mistake for redemption. I didn't ask for any of it. I just watched. Some nights I thought maybe we could work through it. Other nights I'd wake up at 2 a.m. and see that photo in my mind. Her laugh, his hand, the caption, and feel the old nausea roll through me again. That's when I knew what the real problem was. It wasn't that he'd embarrassed me online. It was that when I asked for respect, he called it control. You can't build a future with someone who thinks your boundaries are negotiable. A month later, he sent me a photo. The ring. Same box, same sparkle. Captioned simply, "Still yours, if you ever want it to be." I stared at it for a long time before replying. "Then keep it safe, for whoever learns from your mistakes." He read it instantly, no reply. Spring came. The vineyard refunded half our deposit as a courtesy. I used my portion to book a solo trip, 3 days by the Oregon coast. No itinerary, no +1, no matching anything. I brought a journal and a new pen. On the second night, while the tide hummed outside the window, I wrote, "Things I learned the hard way. Silence is also communication. Attention is not affection. Boundaries are not control. Sometimes closure isn't dramatic. It's just clarity." At the bottom, I added one more. 5. Love shouldn't need public proof to exist. When I got home, I opened the safe. The ring sat there exactly as I'd left it, unchanged, unimportant. I closed the lid gently, exhaled, and whispered the only words that felt true anymore. "Thank you for teaching me what not to accept." And for the first time in months, I didn't feel angry. I just felt free.